morning, everyone. Are we ready to finish this book? We're on the last chapter today. Somebody, I don't want to mention any names, but somebody did not finish any kind of thing that remotely resembles a full breakfast. She only ate for like 5 or 6 minutes. So I have a feeling that halfway through she's going to be hungry if she doesn't fall asleep, but we'll see what happens. This is empty. What's going on here? Wow, that was like nothing, huh? There's no milk left in that. Jeez. I know I'm a few minutes early, but I was just like, well, she's not sleeping and she's not eating, so I might as well get on and start making the coffee so we have more time to read, was my thought. You know. Alright, so we'll see how today goes. I'll finish this book. Anyone do anything interesting yesterday? Hey Priscilla. Hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hey Avery. Hey Amanda. I saw Jillian was on earlier. Hey Jen. We'll see how the vlog this morning goes with our ending of this book. Ah. Hot. FYP star. It's funny that you said that because the video that you said was on your FYP has around 800 views, which is so sad for an account this size. Like, my husband was like, it has to be that you've just been getting reported so much that your stuff just doesn't show to anyone anymore. And I'm like, yeah. He was like, other Slimers are toxic. I was like, yeah, I would never think to report another Slimer just to like nerf their account, but whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, they suppress it for sure. For sure. It's like, even if they just showed it to 10% of my followers, even just that would be 4,000 views per video. Even just 10% of my followers. So it's pretty funny that it's like, can't even break 1,000 right now on it. So not even showing it to you guys, let alone anyone else. I'm so surprised to see. I know, it's shocking news. It's shocking, Jen. Shocking. But today we finish Sunrise on the Reaping. At bare minimum, we'll finish the last chapter. I hope we'll also get to finish the epilogue. I started coffee a little early in hopes that we can get, like, you know, through it, right? Let's see. Yeah, seriously, ready to cry. I cried yesterday, so there's that. She's not asleep, but she's also not fussy, per se. Which is shocking because, like I said, she did not eat, which is not great. But I hope she sleeps and then eats when she wakes up or something. She only ate like 6 minutes, which is not very much. Not very much. But because, so I got proofs. I wanted to buy pictures from graduation, know how much they, oh no. $100 a print. Or $100 per shot. I know, teething tummy. So sad. I did give her chamomile drops though, so hopefully that helps. 64 digital file, $99 for 3. You know what the sad thing is? Like, if we lived closer, like my husband and I could do it for you for free. We like actually take really good pictures. I'm in a week and a half I'm taking pictures for my friend's elopement. Just cause, you know what I mean? So that she doesn't have to pay a photographer. Not the photographer's not great. Oh, really? Okay. You want to talk now? Get it all out of your system before we start reading? No! I got my Band-Aid wet. No. Darn it. No wet Band-Aids in this household, right? No. It got wet. It's not good. Wet Band-Aid is the worst. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I sliced my finger packing orders yesterday, you guys, on like, oh, sorry, that was gross, but I got coffee on my arm, and waste not, want not, right? Oh my God, what a ridiculous thing to say. Did I really just say that about coffee that was on my arm? I did, huh? Yeah, it's bad. That was really, that was embarrassing, so I'm sorry that I did that. I'm really sorry, you guys, that you had to experience that with me. But it is what it is. You've seen it now. You saw me lick my own arm. So. All right. What happened to your finger? Is it bad? I mean, it's not great. It's definitely not like detrimental long term, but it doesn't feel good. And the problem is it's right at the top of my thumb, which is almost impossible to get a Band-Aid to stay on, which is why it looks ridiculous like this. Because to get, I mean, it's here, like right here at the tip of my thumb. I sliced it on packing materials, and it's a pretty deep slice, not great, but like, how do you keep a Band-Aid there? I tried just putting the Band-Aid over it. I tried doing the thing where you do it like from the two sides. I tried everything, and I tried putting the Band-Aid over it and then just putting a little thing of like medical tape over it this way. This is the only way to get anything to stay on it, you know? So it's not so big that it needs this. It just needs this. The Band-Aids that look like a stick figure, I do need that. That's what I need. That's what I tried to make. I tried to do the thing where you like cut it a little bit and do it. It wouldn't stay. And I think it's because I use my hands too much. Yeah, the butterfly shape one would have been great. We don't have that. Hi, baby angel. You're very drooly. So anyway, the moral of the story is wet Band-Aids are not great. Not, oh, that's hot. I grabbed that cup wrong. What is wrong with me today? Oh my God. Somebody come and get her. She is a mess. And by she, I mean me. Okay. We need to read this chapter and possibly the epilogue. So we're going to get started. I'm kind of getting used to glasses. Are you going to see Ellen on a trip? I hope so. That was she mentioned it last time she was here, that she was coming out to see Joey and Jesus Christ Superstar, and that she was going to bring, she loves baby clothes shopping, so every time I talk to her, she's like, I have more clothes for the baby. That's all she wants to do is shop for baby clothes, which, listen, live your best life. Who am I to tell you no? It's okay to be Hot Mess Express. Hot Mess Express, choo-choo. So anyway, we are going to read chapter 27 now, and hopefully the epilogue if we have time. Let's see, this chapter is 30 minutes long, so let's see if we can really do it in, thank you, I appreciate that, Brittany. And right back at you, obviously. If I can do this actually in 30 minutes and she doesn't make me stop a bunch, we can read the epilogue too, which is phenomenal. So here, speed read. I actually can speed read, but it's hard to speed read out loud, right? Like you can do it in your mind, like, especially because I took a class on it, so I'm trained to speed read. But like speed reading, I don't know. It also takes away from a little bit of the like gravitas of it when you read really fast. That's why I don't know if you noticed yesterday I like slowed down a little bit of my reading. You know. So anyway, here we go. You can just sleep, Grumble Pants. The nightmare always starts with me feeding her that gumdrop. We're in the meadow, we're holding fast to each other, and her face is shining with tears of joy. I don't check the bag. I never check the bag. Why can't I remember to check the bag? I just lift that blood-red gumdrop to her lips, and there's no stopping what follows. My realization, her terror, the bloody foam, my pleading with her to stay, her making me promise, and then the uncles are there. Carmine is ripping her from my arms, trying to restart her heart while he calls her name. Tam Amber is standing stiffly over them, his head shaking as he mumbles, "Not again, oh, not again." And that's when the music kicks in, her name poem, her song, careening around in my brain like a runaway train. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten ten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I mumbled, tapping at my chamber door, "only this and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow, vainly I had sought to borrow from my books secrest a sorrow, sorrow for lost Lenore, for rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore, nameless here forevermore. The raven, the unforgiving songbird, repeatedly reminding me of President Snow's crystal clear message to me on my homecoming, that I will never get to love anyone ever again. Never more, because he will make sure they end up dying a horrible death. And so I drive away anyone and everyone who could ever be considered dear to me. Old neighbors, Hattie, customers, schoolmates. Blair and Burdock hang on the hardest, but Blair finally acknowledges the truth of my position and gives me one final hug and leaves sobbing. And then Burdock insists on showing up, sometimes along with Astrid, who bears a bottle of sleep syrup. Defiant, deaf to my pleas, I resort to throwing rocks hard at them. It takes one hitting Astrid on the forehead, blood pouring down her perfect face, to finally get them to leave me alone. Hurting her that way feels worse than anything I did in the arena. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. It's this, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," I said, "or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door, that scarce I was sure I heard you. Here opened wide the door, darkness there, and nothing more." The world goes silent. I see no one. I have never really been alone before. I've always been with my family, or my friends, or my love. A peacekeeper slides an envelope of money, my victory winnings, under my door every week, and they leave a food parcel on my porch. On the envelope, meat, bread, milk, various supplies have been meticulously deducted from my money. Who arranged this service? The president? Is he insisting on keeping me alive? I would welcome death if it wasn't for my promise to Lenore that I would somehow keep the sun from rising on the reaping. The impossibility of it adds to my despair. I drain the bottles of sleep syrup to escape reality, only to feed her gumdrops in my dreams. Deep in that darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token. And then the word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore." This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this, and nothing more. Back in the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I hear a tapping somewhat louder than before. Surely, said I, surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then, what threat is there, this mysterious to explore? Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery to explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more. I go looking for her one night, searching for her freshly overturned earth and the new headstone in the graveyard on the hill. The others are there, Ma, Sid, my fellow tributes, but no, not Lenore Dove. The Covey's crooked house stands dark and silent in the moonlight, and I roam around the yard like a stray dog. I curl up under her window, yearning for her ghost to find me. It must be 3 a.m. when the fiddle begins soft and low, playing her song. Does Clerk Carmine somehow know that I'm there? Is this his attempt at driving me stark raving mad? I pound on the door, screaming at the top of my lungs, where is she? Where is she? But the fiddle falls silent. It's too late. The earworm has awoken. Open here I flutter the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter, in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisant made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mine of lore or lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. And then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, but the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou, I said, art sure no caven. Ghastly grim and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore, tell me that thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. The sleep syrup runs out, and in desperation I begin to visit old Bascom Pie, loading a sack with bottles of rot gut, clinking all the way home. Yeah, we're just a little bit into it, Naisa. He's just basically so far, he's just lives at the Victor's Village, and he's tried to get everyone in his life to stay away from him because he believes his existence puts them in danger. So he did so much as throw a rock at Astrid's head to get them to go away. He's totally caught up in nightmares, yeah, like Amanda said, and he's just made everyone leave him, essentially. And he gets money for winning, and they've set up, someone he doesn't know who, has set up a service to have food delivered to his house. And yeah, Lenore Dove is not buried with the rest of the people who passed that day, and so he's basically looking for her grave, essentially. Let's see. Some night I find oblivion that I seek, others I wander off through the dark. One morning, as I awake half naked on the green outside my house, I'm covered in mosquito bites, and then I realize that's where she must be, that her uncles would not have laid her to rest in a District 12 graveyard, but taken her somewhere that she loved, that they all loved. It's the woods. I'm a man on a mission. For weeks I wander through the trees, circle the lake, examine the soil under the apple tree, looking for any sign of her, entreating the mocking jays for a clue to her whereabouts, calling her name into the wind. The leaves turn scarlet and gold, crunching beneath my feet. Lenore Dove, Lenore Dove, I cry, but she does not reveal herself. Burdock comes, though appearing out of the mist. His leather jacket's fastened against the frost, and his bow is in his hand, a brace of wild turkey at his hip. He hasn't forgiven me, will never, but it's not beyond pity. Perhaps because he knows what it is to love. If you want her, come on, is all he says. And I do want her, just as long as I wanted the apples he promised. As long ago I wanted the apples he promised, and so I followed him far, far into the woods, beyond the lake, beyond my ken, to a hiding grove that no normal human eye could even detect. And that's where he leaves me. A small, secret graveyard with a beautifully carved headstone, Covey. Each are marked with only a snippet of their name poems, and among them on a creamy white stone says, Lady, he said. Maud Clare, he said. Oh, Maud Clare. And then he hides his face. And on a mossy slab of slate, Yet some maintain unto this day she is a living child, that you may see sweet Lucy Gray upon some lonesome wild. And on a gray rock speckled with pink and purple it says, but the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and only the word there spoken was the whispered word, Lenore. And then I whispered and echoed and murmured back the word Lenore, merely this and nothing more. So I lie on her grave and remain there as the night falls. Dawn breaks and blackness descends again. I tell her everything and I beg her to return to me, to wait for me, to forgive me for all the ways that I have failed. When dawn breaks on the second day, she has not come, and I bury the flint striker, snake and bird in front of her headstone, and I ask her to free me from my final promise. I ask her to let me come to now, and I ask her for a sign. And then I somehow make my way home, and I fall asleep, where I feed her another gumdrop. Much I marveled at this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevance it bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing a bird above his chamber door. Bird or beast upon the sculpture bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing farther then he uttered, not a feather then he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. And then the bird said, Nevermore. I hit the bottle even harder. Drinking, disappearing into the night, regaining consciousness in the forgotten places of District 12. One morning at the crack of dawn, I snap awake, shivering. I'm in a back alley in town. I'm staring at a message sprayed in bright orange paint. No capital, no hanging tree. It's a rebel play on the capital's propaganda. No capital, no reaping. Tucked away in this alley, it's a rallying cry beyond the peacekeepers' radar. A memory tugs at me. It's Maisie in the arena after she killed the game maker, Spider Silk, and her mama's song. Well, your gal's full of surprises. I guess she's got the jump on us all after all. Full of surprises, full of secrets, even from me, but Maisie had put it together. Orange paint was on her fingernails. This is Lenore Dove's work, her sign, her message to me now, her reminder that I must prevent another sunrise on the reaping. As it says, you promised me. With that, she condemns me to live life. Startled at the stillness broken by the reply so aptly spoken, doubtless, said I, what it's uttered is only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master who, unmerciful disaster, followed fast and followed faster, till his songs unburdened bore, till the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of nevermore. But the raven still beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, straight I wheeled a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I bestook myself a thinking, fancy unto fancy thinking, what's this ominous bird of yore? With this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore, meant in croaking, nevermore. Now that Lenore Dove has said her piece, other ghosts filled with hate and rage visit me the night. Panesh seems to have had little to do but hunt me down, and Silka thinks I owe her a crown. The terror bleeds into my waking hours, and I start sleeping with a knife in my hand. It's Effie Trinket who finds me thus the morning of the victory tour. I come to, startled, and she discovers that she's taken possession of my knife. I discover that she's taken possession of my knife. Look, I'm sorry about your family's accident, Hamish, and then your girl's appendicitis right after. That's tragic. But this all just won't do. We have a responsibility to carry on. My family's accident? Lenore Dove's appendicitis? She's right. I do have a responsibility to carry on, but how can I? I let Effie pour me a coffee and send me to the tub until Proserpina and Vitus can stomach me. I button into a paisley suit that great Uncle Silas never had occasion to wear, and somehow it makes me presentable as I board the train to District 11. Word got out and Magna was fired for negligence, and then Drusilla broke her hip falling down an escalator. Oh, sorry, wrong voice. That was supposed to be Plutarch saying that, not Effie. Plutarch tells me in confidence. It always seems Maisie was right about those heels. Anyway, I pitched Effie last minute and they jumped on the idea, especially since she brought her depraved uncle's wardrobe with her. How are you here, Plutarch? I ask, and it's a question that could be answered on many levels, but he chooses the superficial one. Well, I'm here to record your victory tour, of course. It's in my contract. Hey, you look like you could do with a sandwich. Hey, Tibby, come here. A different train than I rode before. This one's fancier. Lots of steel and chrome, dove-colored velvet upholstery, lest I forget her. Trying to forget is my full-time job now. Effie does her best to keep me sober, but the train is loaded with booze. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er. But whose velvet violet lining with the lamplight gloating o'er? She shall press, nevermore. And then, methought, the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer, swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretched, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite, and nepenthe from the memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe for this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. In District 11, I stand on the steps of the Justice Building, facing the grief-stricken families of Hull, Tile, Chicory, and that other girl, Blossom. I search the wider sea of faces for Lulu's kin. I come up empty. The party begins, and I drink my way through the festivities which run far into the night. When the Justice Building finally sleeps, Plutarch spirits me up multiple stairs, away and into the attic. Respite and nepenthe, I mutter to my bottle. Plutarch yanks it from my hand. Hey, no, listen, Hamish, we don't have long. This is the attic. It's the only spot in the entire Justice Building that isn't bugged, okay? Well, he might be right about that. The place looks like it hasn't been disturbed in 100 years. There's a coat of dust so thick that you could comfortably sleep on it. Why you'd sneak off to this place for privacy instead of stepping outside the Justice Building, I don't know. And honestly, I don't care. Good morning, Anya. How is it you're looking so well, Plutarch? Wirus and Mags were tortured, right? And I'm guessing Beatty, he's dead? No, Beatty's too valuable to kill. I thought he would have killed himself. He can't. His wife is pregnant. Besides, he wouldn't let Ampert down that way. Oh, I see. He's gonna overthrow the Capitol, is he? Yeah, maybe one day, but we can't any of us do it alone. You demonstrated a lot of nerve and intelligence in that arena, and we need your help. Me? I say in disbelief. I'm living proof that the Capitol always wins. I try to keep the sun from rising on another reaping day. I tried to change things, and now look, everybody's dead. You don't want me. And I don't want him, I think. I don't want anybody from the Capitol's help ever again. I never could trust them. We do want you. You shook up the Capitol, both figuratively and literally, and with that earthquake, you're capable of imagining a different future, and maybe it won't be realized today. It might not even be realized in our lifetime, but we are all part of a continuum. Does that make it pointless? I don't know. I just don't know. But I do know that you need someone different than me. No, Hamish, we need someone exactly like you. Just luckier, I say. Luckier or with better timing. Having an army at their back wouldn't hurt either. Yeah, if we can't find one, we'll just... Sorry. Sure, yeah, an army would have helped. Where are you going to get an army, Plutarch? Well, if we can't find one, we're going to have to build one. But obviously, finding an army is easier than building one. And then we can all kill another again, right? Like we did back in the good old dark days. Well, you know better than anyone what we're up against with snow. If you think of another way to stop that sunrise, you let me know. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet undaunted, on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if, with distant Aden, it shall clasp a sainted maiden from the angels named Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. I avoid speaking to Pluto. The angels named Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. I avoid speaking to Plutarch for the rest of the victory tour, although all the districts where I land on the stage, looking at the families of the dead tributes, all the parties culminating in the capital where I'm returned to my comfy cage. Through all the strange festivities in District 12, my team heads to the train, Plutarch and his crew do a style piece on my new house, and tape a parting shot of me in the yard. And as I stand there staring at my prison, unwilling to cross the threshold and resume my sentence, he joins me then. All right here, Hamish? I have nothing to live for, and I say this without a note of self-pity. I'm simply stating a fact. Well, then you have nothing to lose. That puts you in a position of power. I'd like to kill him in that moment, but what would be the point? So instead I just say, you think you're a good person, don't you, Plutarch? You think you're a good guy because you told me about the sun and you told me about the berms. What you really did is help create the capital's propaganda and broadcast it to the country. 49 kids died for it, but you gave the old heavens be spin, and in the propo, you're some kind of hero. Plutarch takes a moment to answer. I'm nobody's idea of a hero, Hamish, but at least I'm still in the game. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked, upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as token of the lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take the beak from out my heart and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul from out that shadow that lies a-floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. And so I remain forever trapped in my chamber, and I'm so desperate to forget, to escape the grief, the aching loneliness, the loss of those I love. There are no mementos of them here. They're all burned or buried. I work on forgetting their voices, their faces, their laughs, and even in my head the language becomes dull and flat, stripped of color and music and yesterday. The only human contact I allow myself arrives by way of Capital News, which I play on my television set 24/7. That way, if Lenore Dove's ghost ever comes to me, I can tell her I'm working on a strategy to keep that sun from rising. I make no plans. I have no hope. Keep no company, speak to no human except old Bascom Pie when my nepenthe runs low. I can't say I have no future because I know that every year for my birthday, I will get a new pair of tributes, one boy and one girl to mentor to their deaths, and another sunrise on the reaping. And when I remember that, I hear Sid's voice waking me in the morning that raven first tapped on my chamber door. Happy birthday, Hamish. Suzanne Collins is a cruel mistress. That's all I'm going to say. Epilogue. When Lenore Dove comes to me now, she's not angry or dying, so I think she has forgiven me. She's grown older with me, her face is edged with fine lines, and her hair has a touch of gray, like she's been living her life beside me all these years past instead of lying in her grave, still so rare and radiant. I filled my promise with the reaping, or at least I lent a hand, but she says I can't come to her yet. I have to look after my family. I first saw the girl at the Hob when she was just a baby. Burdock was so proud of her. He toted her around everywhere. After he died in the mine explosion, she started coming alone and trading that odd squirrel or rabbit, tough and smart, her hair in 2 braids then, reminding me for all the world of Luella McCoy, my old sweetheart. And after she volunteered for the games, that nickname couldn't help but slip out. I didn't want to let them in, her and PETA, but the walls of a person's heart are not impregnable, not if they have ever known love. That's what Lenore Dove says, anyway. I didn't want to have anything to do with her or their memorial after the war. What use? What point? To relive all the loss? But when Burdock's page came up, I had to mention him showing me the grave, and I felt compelled to tell them about Maisie Donner, former owner of the Mockingjay pin, and how Sid loved stars. Before I knew it, they all came tumbling out. My family, the tributes, my friends, comrades in arms, everybody, even my love, and I finally told our story. A few days after that, Katniss showed up with an old basket filled of goose eggs. Not to eat, to hatch. I raided a few different nests so that they can all breed, all right? Never mind that we had roast goose for dinner. She's not an easy person. She's like me, Peeta always says. But she was always smarter than me, or maybe she's luckier. She's the one who finally kept the sun from rising. Peeta fashioned some kind of incubator, and when the eggs hatched, mine was the first face those goslings saw. Sometimes they just graze on the green, but on fine days we've been known to wander over to the meadow. Lenore Dove likes it best there, and I'm content where she's content. Like these geese, we really did mate for life. I'm not sure I'll be here in the old there before much longer. My liver's wrecked. I only dry out when the train's late. I drink differently these days, though, less to forget, more just out of habit. When my time comes, it comes, but I have no idea when that will be. I do know one thing, though, that the capital can never take Lenore Dove from me again. They never really did in the first place. Nothing you can take from me was ever worth keeping, and she is the most precious thing I have ever known. When I tell her that, she always just says, "Well, I love you like all fire." And I reply, "I love you like all fire, too." The end. I'm going to do something really fun, really quickly. They put the first chapter of the first Hunger Games at the end of this, and because we have a few more minutes, I'm just going to read the little beginning of it so we can feel the full circle of it all. I think it's going to feel really good. When I wake up, the other side of my bed is cold, and my fingers stretch out, seeking Prim's warmth, but finding the rough canvas cover of the mattress. She must have had bad dreams and climbed in with our mother. No, of course she did. This is the day of the reaping. I prop myself up on one elbow. There's enough light in the bedroom to see them. My little sister Prim is curled up on her side, cocooned into my mother's body, their cheeks pressed together. In sleep, my mother looks younger, still worn, but not so beaten down. Prim's face is fresh as raindrops, as lovely as the primrose for which she was named. My mother was very beautiful once too, or at least so they tell me. Sitting at Prim's knees, guarding her, is the world's ugliest cat. Mashed in nose, half of one ear's missing, eyes the color of rotting squash. Prim named him Buttercup, insisting that his muddy yellow coat matched the bright flower, but he hates me, or at least he distrusts me. Even though that was years ago, I still think he remembers how we tried to drown him in a bucket when Prim brought him home. Scrawny little kitten, his belly was full of worms, crawling with fleas. The last thing I needed was another mouth to feed, but Prim begged so hard she cried. I had to let him stay. It turned out okay. My mother got rid of the vermin, and he's a born mouser. He even catches the occasional rat. Sometimes, when I clean and kill, I feed Buttercup the entrails. He has stopped hissing at me since then. Entrails, no hissing. This is the closest we will ever come to love. I swing my legs off the bed, and I slide into my hunting boots. Supple leather that has molded to my feet. I pull on trousers, a shirt, and I tuck my dark braid into a cap. I grab my forage bag. On the table, under a wooden bowl, I protect it from the hungry rats and cats alike. It sits perfect. Little goat cheese wrapped in basil leaves, Prim's gift to me on reaping day. I put the cheese carefully in my pocket and I slip outside. Our part of District 12, it's named the Seam. It's usually crawling with coal miners heading out to the morning shift at this hour. Men and women with hunched shoulders, swollen knuckles, many who have long since stopped trying to scrub the coal dust out of their broken nails. The lines of their face are sunken in, but today, the black cinder streets are empty. Shutters on the squat gray houses are closed. The reaping isn't till 2. Might as well sleep in if you can. Our house is almost at the edge of the Seam, and I only have to pass a few gates to reach the scruffy field called the meadow. Separating the meadow from the woods, in fact, enclosing all of District 12, is a high chain-link fence topped with barbed wire loops. In theory, it's supposed to be electrified 24 hours a day as a deterrent to predators that live in the woods, packs of wild dogs, lone cougars, bears, but they used to threaten our streets. But since we're lucky to get 2 or 3 hours of electricity in the evenings, it's usually safe for me to touch, and even so, I always take a moment to listen carefully for the hum that means the fence is alive. So right now, it's stone silent. Concealed by a clump of bushes, I flatten onto my belly and I slide under a 2-foot stretch that's been loose for years. There are several other weak spots in the fence, but this one is so close to home I always almost enter the woods here. As soon as I'm in the trees, I retrieve a bow and sheath
of arrows from the hollow log. Electrified or not, the fence has been successful at keeping the flesh eaters out of District 12. Inside the woods, they roam freely, and there are added concerns like venomous snakes, rabid animals, no real paths to follow, but there's also food if you know how to find it. My father knew how, and he taught me some before he was blown to bits in a mine explosion. There was nothing even to bury of him. I was 11 back then. 5 years later, I still wake up screaming for him to run. Even though trespassing in the woods is illegal and poaching carries the severest of penalties, more people would risk it if they had weapons. But most are not bold enough to venture out with just a knife. My bow is a rarity, crafted by my father along with a few others that I keep well hidden in the woods, carefully wrapped in waterproof covers. My father could have made good money selling these, but if the officials found out, then he would have been publicly executed for inciting rebellion. Most of the peacekeepers turned a blind eye to the few of us because they're hungry for fresh meat as anybody else is. In fact, they're among our best customers, but the idea that someone might be arming the seam would never have been allowed. Ooh. Sorry, what was the question? Can we get a poll on who has a Kindle? We could just ask everybody who has a Kindle, who doesn't. What's the issue? I know she's such a poet. I can put up a poll, but there's so few of us, it doesn't even matter to put up a poll. You just ask everybody who has a Kindle and who doesn't. Polls really only are useful if there's like a lot of people because they always take a long time. The ending gave me full body chills too, Naisa. I'm not sure who all has a Kindle. I've had mine, gosh, almost a year now, I think. I really enjoy it. Did you have a specific question related to who does and doesn't? Still trucking along. That's good. Jen has one. I think Naisa, do you have one? I'm actually not sure if Naisa has one. Avery has one. So I think a lot of us do. Yeah. I know Liz has one because I bought Liz a cover for hers for her birthday last year. I have an older one, but I haven't used it in a while. Yeah. I think most of us had it. You just need numbers. Oh yeah. I would say it looks like pretty much everyone from book club has them. So you could probably say out of the 27 of us in here, probably 20 of us have them. I'd say that's a fair bet. Oop. My CP girl, Stacy. Okay, she only wants to sleep if I stand up. But yeah, I have the app on my phone, no separate device for it. I couldn't do that. That's why I resisted buying a Kindle for so many years because I had the app on my phone and my brain just couldn't do that. I can't read on my phone. So I always thought I wouldn't like a Kindle, but it's actually very different. I know, I can't believe it's over. That last chapter and the epilogue are incredibly beautiful. I know, she stayed asleep so we could read the whole thing straight through with no interruptions. That means if anyone ever wants to listen back, it's going to sound so good, just all straight through. How gorgeous is that poem, right? I have a tablet if I want it bigger. It's not even about having it bigger. I think it's that it only does books, right? And it also doesn't, the pages don't look the same. Your phone has a different look to it. Kindles make it look like it's actually paper. Oh, really? You like the Kobo better? Yeah, the size isn't what got me. So I can read size-wise on my phone, but it's the screen that's different because Kindles really look like paper as opposed to the phone, which looks like a device. And my brain just can't do the like reading on a device thing, but I can do the paper thing. What a beautiful, beautiful ending to a really tragic story. But it kind of, there are other e-readers that are more versatile. Oh, yeah, there you go. I'm so satisfied of reading a Kindle versus phone. It's not distracted by nothing. Yeah, exactly that too. Yeah, I've never looked at any of the others. I'm sure there are some good ones. I wanted one that only does reading and doesn't do anything else. That's why I chose the Kindle. Mine's blue light and not being on my phone distracted. Exactly. Yeah, the blue light and being distracted on your phone is why the Kindle is good for me. I can't have it do anything else. I haven't heard anything either, Jen. Does anyone know if Susanna's going to write anything else? Whether they're part of this series or not, I don't know. We should probably do some research into that. She's such a beautiful, beautiful author. I'm so glad Katniss was in the epilogue. He has something to live for again. I know. Oh, God. It's interesting, right? Like, she fought so hard for him to choose Peeta over her, but there was no world where he could choose Peeta over his best friend's daughter, right? I mean, like, Let's be real right now. This is the one that just came out a couple months ago. Yeah, this just came out, I think, in April. Don't quote me on that. April or May. Might have been March, but like spring. It came out in the spring. So very, very recent. So like even if she is writing something else, it's going to be a while before we have it, because Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes came out in 2020. I know that because I was in the basement of Slumu during the lockdown when I was listening to that. And then this one just came out. She won't announce anything for a bit if she's writing one. Yeah, I didn't think so. And the fact that she kept a secret till this book, I know, right? Crazy. The movie comes out next year. Yeah. Well, I mean, what a beautiful, beautiful series, you guys. Just amazing. So here's the thing. I really do want to finish. There was no word. No, there was no world. I do want to finish that Toxic book that we started, the nonfiction book about the tabloids in the 90s and early 2000s. I'm very interested. It was mine too, Avery, by far my favorite of the series. I'm very interested in finishing that book, but I think that Sloth is right that we kind of need a palate cleanser. So how do you feel about doing the next Princess Diaries next, and then we'll go to finishing Toxic so that we get something lighthearted and take us like out of it? Yeah, we need a palate cleanser. Exactly. I really liked that book too. Yeah, I did. I liked a lot of it. So we need to read The Words We Keep. I don't know what The Words We Keep is. Is it appropriate for TikTok? I don't know anything about it, but I think we can. I downloaded all of the remember, I don't know if you guys saw, I posted on Amazon Prime Day, all of the Princess Diaries was available for free. So I downloaded all of them so we don't have to wait for the library anymore, which is what we were doing before. So I have the whole series, and we will read one of those, give us something a little lighthearted, take us out of our trauma for a second, be cutesy. And then the interesting thing is that the Princess Diaries takes place in the same time period that Toxic is talking about. So it'll be interesting to see all of that, you know, how it coincides with the things that are mentioned. Helps with words with anxiety. Oh, it's a nonfiction book you're talking about? We definitely need something very light. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I didn't know anything about it, Roxy. You'll have to look into it. So we'll read A Princess Diaries. We'll read Toxic. Let me show you something that I got also for us. Hold on one second. I'm pretty sure Liz suggested this also. I wasn't going to restart it, but we can, Avery. But since it's nonfiction, I figured we didn't really need to, because it's not like there's no through storyline per se. But if we need to do a catch up, we will. But I'm going to read you guys the like synopsis of this. It was suggested, I think, by Liz to me before, and then I got it. And let's see, you know, if you guys are interested in this, we can read this after Toxic. Okay, so it says, Cambridge professor Emily Wilde is good at many things. She is the foremost expert on fairies. She is a genius scholar and a meticulous researcher who is writing the world's first encyclopedia of fairy lore. But Emily Wilde is not good at people. She could never make small talk at a party or even get invited to one, and she prefers the company of her books, her dog Shadow, and the fair folk to other people. So when she arrives in the hardscrabble village of Harams, I can't even pronounce this word. It has no vowels. That's a crazy word. Emily has no intention of befriending the gruff townsfolk, nor does she care to spend time with another new arrival, her dashing and insufferably handsome academic rival Wendell Bamblebee, who manages to charm the townsfolk, muddle Emily's research, and utterly confound and frustrate her. But as Emily gets closer and closer to uncovering the secrets of the Hidden Ones, the most elusive of all fairies lurking in the shadowy forest outside of town, she finds herself on the trail of another mystery. Who is Wendell Bamblebee, and what does he really want? To find the answer, she'll have to unlock the greatest mystery of all, her own heart. Yeah, no word if there's an additional book, but people are speculating an infinite story. Oh, that would be amazing. So yeah, this could be an interesting, you know, an interesting next book to read. It could be kind of fun. It's like a little lighthearted romance with some fairies on the side, right? A little fun. Yeah. You have me at fairies. That's right. You always have me at fairies. So I think that we have, you know, a good trajectory ahead of us. We do want to finish the Princess Diaries series, of course, so we have to do that too. But it's nice to have those at palate cleansers in between. You could also give us Tigris and Snow Separated. That would be amazing. Oh my God. Wouldn't it be amazing to find out where the fallout was there? Yeah. Also, real quick, did you guys see when Chris Coffer posted about Land of Stories turning 13 years old? The Princess Diaries was written by Meg Cabot. Yeah, Meg Cabot. And I think we're on book 5 or 6. I'll go look. He hinted that he's going to write something else in his post about that. Because he was like, oh my gosh, my book's a teenager. And he hinted that there's more coming. I'm like, sir, I will take anything you want to give me. Whatever Chris Coffer writes, for the rest of my living days, I will read. Because he is that kind of good. I think he actually still has one more series we haven't read, which we could read after The Princess Diaries, but I think it's a kid series, so it's a little different. Even more kid, I think, than Land of Stories, but, that doesn't mean that we can't read it. He is literally everything. That's why we have our Chris Coffer fan club stickers, because we are the unofficial Chris Coffer fan club here. Yeah. Is it weird? I'm going to ask you guys. Is it weird that sometimes I think about rereading Land of Stories? Like, it's so good. And I know I'm going to read it with her when she's a little older. I know, I wish I could reread them for the first time again as well. Stranger Than Fiction is great too. Yeah, it's great too. Like, we just reread The Hunger Games and it was such a beautiful reread. Part of me is like, what if we reread Land of Stories? Like, I know that they're all recorded and we could just listen to them, but like, going back to the beginning and rereading the whole series is always like Guardians of Ga'Hoole. I don't know that one. I don't know, there's something about a reread. I used to, in the olden days before we knew that she was a TERF, I used to reread all of the Harry Potter books every time a new one was about to come out. You missed the first 3 or 4. Oh my gosh, so many of us weren't even here. You guys, a lot of you weren't even here when we reread it. So maybe we need to go through them again. Do we need to go back and read Land of Stories? My favorite. There's just, I don't know, a reread always does something for my soul. I would reread them any day. So let's, it's like a play, you notice new things. Yeah, I think we do, you guys. Maybe, so let's, hopefully I remember all the voices. You weren't here when I read them? Oh my God. Okay, yeah, okay. So let's do it. Let's just do it. It's a series about owls. Oh my God, I love owl. Like old, like owl lore and things like that. Okay, so let's finish Toxic. Let's read this, and then maybe we'll start filtering in. The other thing about Land of Stories is we didn't read them straight through last time, so maybe we need to read it straight through the way we just did with Hunger Games. Like, do a full series reread, like, of all of it straight through. That might really do something for it, in your brain. Oh, I like it. Okay. Pretend you're reading Secret Baby and save it. I should. My sweet angel. Yeah. Okay, great. So we will do that. I'm glad that we're all on the same page. I thought you guys were going to be like, Sasha, we already did this. We will tag Chris. We did not know when we started the first Land of Stories how deeply ingrained in it. It has become a part of my soul. Like, you guys, do any of you who, to read in chronological order. Interesting. You were here for Tale of Magic, yeah. So I don't know if I told you guys this who weren't here in the beginning. I picked up Land of Stories from a little library at the park, like not as a joke, but like just like whatever. Like, okay, so I used to go for a walk every morning with Zoe. Well, I do. I reread as well a lot. Like I said, I used to reread every single Hunger Games Harry Potter before each one came out. So like if book 5 was coming out, I'd read the first 4 up to the release day. But I used to take Zoe for a walk every morning when I lived near her, and there was a little library there, and I used to let her pick up a book. And one day, that book was there, and I had heard of it, but I was like, So I just picked it up, and I was like, what if we just read it? It was free. Like, if it sucks, oh well. And if it sucks, oh well. And it became one of my favorite things of my entire life. If it sucks, oh well. Oh, God. Series of Unfortunate Events. I've never read that one, but I've heard it's good. But anyway, the long and the short of it is Chris Coffer, chef's kiss. I'm rereading The Downsides of the Boy with Silver Eyes. Oh, I've never heard that. It was divine intervention that you found a Land of Stories. Hi Nikki, hey. It was divine intervention that I found it because it changed so many of our lives. And I think it healed a lot of us who were feeling, really downtrodden over having to let go of Harry Potter in a lot of ways. Does that make sense? I don't know if anybody else felt really just like, I know, okay, look, authors don't technically owe you anything, but like I felt betrayed by the way that J.K. Rowling wrote characters that led us to believe she was with us. And then, you know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? Yeah, we do need more healing in the world. I'm feeling that I was under a rock with it. I know, we all were, Amanda. We all were. Listen, Amanda, it hasn't been that long since we've known. It hasn't been that long considering how long we've loved it. We've loved Harry Potter longer than we've known she was bad. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's hard. It's hard to let go of those characters. I even know a lot of people who are my friends in the LGBTQIA community who are like, it's hard to let go of those characters because I grew up thinking they were me. You know? You get so attached to these characters that she made a world. No, you can't. Right, Jen, that's characters that she made a world. No, you can't. Right, Jen, that's what I'm saying. It's a tough transition. Yeah. And we needed Land of Stories to help pull us out of it, right? That's what I mean. Like we needed something to take its place, right? In your heart. Otherwise you're just sad. Empty in a way for those characters. She made outsiders feel seen and then she othered them, which is crazy. What a crazy. Yeah, I know, it's wild. Yeah. So anyway, I'm thrilled that we found Land of Stories, and that we have that to heal us, if you will, because it for sure did for me anyway. I can't speak for anybody else, but it gave me something that I needed. I will say that it gave me something I needed. So I'm grateful for Chris, and I'm grateful for you all. And I'm glad that we were able to finish this. Tomorrow we will start something lighthearted, cleanse our palate a little bit, and keep on chugging on. Guys, do you know that we are, Land of Stories is a special type of comfort, I agree, Naisa. We are, we're past the 2.5-year mark. Yes, I have more Chris Coffer stickers for anyone who needs them. For those of you who didn't join at the beginning of Land of Stories, if you turn into a Chris Coffer lover like the rest of us, I have more stickers for everybody. We should see if we could have Chris in an interview. Oh my gosh, I can't even. Unfortunately, I don't think we are of a level that he would consider us, but that would be, amazing. But will you be checking DMs today? I'm going to try to. Yesterday was a rough day with little lady, but is there something specific you need? Did something get lost or anything like that? I get rid of my HP stuff when I moved in with my partner. I couldn't bring it to. Yeah, no, you can't. We don't have any. If you look around our home, there's nothing. I used to have stuff hanging everywhere. It's all gone. I have other stuff now. I don't even have the books displayed. Like I used to have them on a shelf of pride. I replaced them with, a million other things. Alice in Wonderland, books of fairy tales, whatever, yada yada. But Shakespeare. I have my Shakespeare books displayed with pride, that's for sure. But that's also another story for another day. Maybe we should read. Ooh, guys, do you want to read a Shakespeare play one of these days so that I can get a little bit of that? A sage version of the sticker, please. I don't know what that means. What do you mean a sage version of the sticker? I can't really afford to make any more because I gave those stickers away for free and I still have 50 of them left, so I probably won't make any more of those just because it was just something I did to be nice to everyone in book club. I just made the stickers to give out for free, so I can't really afford to make another version just because I still have so many of them. You can make whatever you want. Yeah, absolutely. You don't need my permission. Make whatever makes you happy. It was just a joke sticker. I didn't sell them ever because it was just for fun. Yeah, make whatever you want, Roxy. You never need my permission for that. All right, so anyway, maybe we'll read Twelfth Night one day. Twelfth Night is my favorite of the Shakespeare comedies, It's something interesting. Also, I had that Chris Stock on my Kindle for a hot minute. Yeah, if you need another one, I've got more. You can share the ideas with me, but I am so behind on all my DMs right now, so don't be offended if I don't respond quickly, because that's why I had to take this time to like recollect myself. It's just things have been a little bit crazy. Do you have a least favorite Shakespeare? Oh yeah, the histories. I'm not a fan of the histories, generally speaking. I mean, like, I read them because like whatever, you have to, but if it's one of the history plays, I'm not really into it. I'm a big fan of, you can always give me a new Chris Coffer sticker. Yeah, remind me at your next, what do you call it? And I'll pop another one in there for you. We've got plenty. They were meant for book club people to have as a gift from me, so any of you that want them, you can always have it in your next shipment. 1/4 of Shakespeare can be a bore. Yes, 1/4 of Shakespeare can be a bore. He was so prolific that he can't win them all, right? Can't win them all. What I was going to say was, if we read Shakespeare, anyone who's got kids in the right area of school, I'm not asking you for anything. I just need to be able to send you stuff. You can send me stuff. I'm just saying that I don't know if I'll be able to get to the EMs to give you any feedback. I think the snow is going to work great. Yeah. I just need to be able to send you stuff. Oh, you don't have to send me anything, Roxy. No one ever has to send me anything. I'm very excited for that, Nikki, because Nikki, you will be able to sell it not just to me. There's other Slimers who will buy it if it works. You should sell it. I'm not gatekeeping that. Give it to everybody. Make that bag, girl. I'm not gatekeeping that. Give it to everybody. Make that bag, girl. You know me. I want everyone to get their piece of the pie. So I'm gonna hit the road, get to work. I have a lot of orders that have to go out today, and sorry, I've been into the bathroom. Oh, I totally understand, Isabel. I've never heard of this series, so I'm not sure if I want a sticker. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. Since so many of you weren't here in the beginning, wait until we read the first book, see if it grabs you the way that it grabbed the rest of us. I have like 20 Slimers so far. That's amazing, Nikki. Amazing. And also, like, Nikki, there's some big Slimers who are dying to get their hands on some Snow Fizz, so you could charge a premium. There's some Slimers who are millionaires, so charge them what you deserve to make. They have millions of dollars. Okay, they're not like me, who's just like getting by day to day. They have like literal millions of dollars. Oh, Roxy, no. Don't make enough to send out with packages. No. Just enjoy doing it for yourself, because I would never be able to keep track of who to send them to and whatever like that. I grabbed my book 1, chapter 3. I know, it's so amazing. No, but literally, Nikki, I'm not kidding. There are some Slimers who are actual millionaires. I know, me too, Naisa. I think about it all the time. All the time. I loved A Tale of Magic, so I'm sure. Yeah. The morning was great, Isabella. Thank you for asking. I hope yours was well. If you liked Tale of Magic, you're gonna like Land of Stories. Yeah. It's a very nice snow fish. You felt it? Oh, good. That's amazing. Yeah, I would love to feel it, Nikki. I'd love to buy some from you, for sure. For sure. And then I'll tell everyone, you gotta tell Mina. It's quality, not quantity. I say, yeah, I have the entire series bookshelf, including Tale of Magic. Me too. It's one of the series is that I bought everything in hard copies. Maybe Land of Stories before Princess Diaries. It's not as much of a palate cleanser as you would think, though, right? Because it's got a little bit. I think we don't have to finish the whole Princess Diaries, but I think we should read one in between to give us something before Toxic. Did you ever get yours? I sent it. Oh, you did? How recently? Because my mom hasn't been back from the thing in the last week. Because I don't have another package from you. Maybe it's, yeah, we need Madam Weatherbury. Maybe it's in her car. Let me ask her. That's a good question. She brings me packages like every 2 weeks because my P.O. box is like 2 hours away. A month or so ago. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, that's not good. I wonder if it's like in my sister's car or something and she forgot. Let me check with them. That's not good. Do you know what it looked like? What kind of a package I can tell them to look for? Well, how did you package it? Etsy box is from you as well. Oh my gosh. Right before your break, it's a box. It's a box. Well, I love you guys too. A box. Okay. Small flat rate box. Okay. I will have them look for that. Like one of those ones that looks like the size of a videotape. That one. Yep. Okay. I know exactly what kind of box you're talking about. I used to use them. They're like little rectangles. They're like a VHS size, almost exactly like this, right? I'll have them look. Okay, so I will do that, and I will talk to both my mom and my sister and see who's got the packages. They always, they don't ever like get rid of them or anything. So worst case, it just means that they forgot it in the back of their car. I mean, it is the size of a VHS, right? Almost exactly. The reason I know that is because I used to put playbills in them when I was shipping playbills for stuff. Okay, well, I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll read A Princess Diaries. We'll finish Toxic. We'll do a Land of Stories reread. And, well, actually, we should read this book because we have it, and I like, Secret Husband bought this for me, so we should read this. Or I could read this on my own, I guess, and we could just read Land of Stories. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let's read those two, and then we'll figure it out. But we're going to do a full series reread, Land of Stories. We're going to go there. We're going to enjoy it. We're going to live in the moment. It's going to be wonderful. Chef's kiss. Okay, love you guys. Bunch of orders are going out today, so keep an eye out for that. Bye.